Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Jiddu Krishnamurti. And today's meditation is called The Observer. Let's get into today's message. Sunmari, a very good morning. Great seeing you. Hello. The human experience is a tapestry woven with threads of both light and also shadow, joy and also sorrow, strength and also vulnerability. We often find ourselves caught in the internal struggle of reconciling these opposing forces, conditioned to label one as good and the other as bad, to cling to certainty and avoid the discomfort of the unknown. Do you have the ability to hold both sides though? Could you stretch yourself to have space for both sides to exist side by side? Let's ask Krishnamurti to explain. The first thought from Krishnamurti today is freedom from the desire for an answer. In other words, being free from the certainty of knowing is essential to the understanding of the problem. Freedom from needing certainty is essential to understand. Krishnamurti says, the highest form of human intelligence is to observe yourself without judging yourself. To be able to take a good look at yourself and not go, this is bad and that's good, this is right and that's wrong. And then the last thought from Jiddu Krishnamurti today is, the ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence. It took me many years to fully understand this teaching by Krishnamurti. And he was by no means the first. The same wisdom was taught through such great teachers as Lao Tzu, the Buddha, Aristotle, Jesus. So let's look at some practical examples and see if we can build an understanding by getting to the application of it. Take a look at you. See if you can form an awareness of both sides of you. Can you see the scared human who often reacts in fear? Can you also see the fearless creator who strives to act in freedom? Can you see the part of you that feels heavy and is easily negative, as well as the part of you that loves to feel light and see the positive side to everything? While you're looking at all of this, do you need to make one side right and one side wrong? One part of you good and another part bad? Or can you just hold both? Now here's the real question. In this moment, while I am able to hold both, who am I being while I'm able to hold both sides? If I'm able to look at both of these sides of being human and not feel the need to judge, which part of me am I being? Understanding the ego provides some important context. The ego is fundamentally invested in physical survival, and fear drives the ego towards binary thinking. The ego demands either or kind of certainty, insisting that something must be either black or white with no room for shades of gray. So while I can see both sides of me, I'm certainly not being ego. I'm not being my small self who desperately needs some sort of certainty in order to feel like I can survive. My ability to hold both without judgment comes from my higher self, from my soul. Now, of course, we can't always be only observing and saying nothing's either good or bad. Sometimes action is required. Sometimes a decision needs to be made, but which part of me do I want to give that responsibility to? Do you want to give that responsibility to make important decisions to your ego? To the part of you that judges harshly and is so ready to condemn you for all your past sins? Or do you want to give the responsibility of making decisions to wisdom, to the part that can gently hold it all and then say, I can see both sides, and now here is what's best for you. Practice observing without judgment. Practice seeing both sides without choosing either. Practice this in all things. What you are practicing is seeing through the eyes of your soul. And everything that you continue practicing, you will become better at. Seeing through the eyes of your soul will lead you to clarity always. So if you're ready, today's meditation is called The Observer. You can close your eyes and we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. Don't just stop at filling your lungs. Imagine you could fill your belly with air too. Feel your belly rise as you inhale. And also feel your whole body rise. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And as you release, feel the opposite thing happening. Feel the softening. With every exhale, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, our journey today is called The Observer. Practicing taking a step back and seeing both sides. Right now, as you continue your full body breathing, rising with every inhale, slowly falling with every exhale. Just imagine you could step outside of yourself right now. Take a step away from yourself and see yourself sitting and breathing. If you could, take a look at you now. What would be the thoughts that come to your mind as you watch this human sitting and breathing? Very often, when we see ourselves, catch a glimpse of ourselves in the mirror, it's so human to be drawn to the negative aspects, seeing the physical flaws, remembering the mistakes. But in this moment, are you able to clearly see the opposites too? Can you see the beauty in your human being? While a crow's feet might catch your eye, do you also see the beautiful smile? While past mistakes might be glaringly obvious to you in some moments, can you also see the good intentions? Can you also see the good things you've done? We all are a spectrum. None of us is either 100% all good or 100% all bad. Can you find an ease in holding both sides? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left. Forward and to the right in big half circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. Lean your upper body over to the right. See if you can bring your left ear just a little bit closer to your left hip. And see if you can bring your right ear just a little bit closer to your right hip. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at the very least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And then fill up your belly as if there's a balloon in there that you can inflate. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, we're getting ready for the breath-holding portion of this meditation and for an exercise in being the observer. Are you ready to practice being the observer? Take your next big breath. I want you to bring to your mind a recent example of a mistake that you made. Do you have a recent example? And if it's not recent, then search back a little bit further. Can you find a mistake that you made? Some of the best examples might be reacting in a way that you can see in hindsight was not the wisest way to act. So was there perhaps an overreaction recently? Reacting more aggressively, perhaps more harshly than what was necessary? You could even bring in mind something as simple as driving in traffic and having a bit of a reaction to some other bad driver. So something you consider a really big mistake or something you consider a very small mistake, doesn't matter. As long as in hindsight you feel like you could have done it better. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, remind yourself of that moment. Take your next big breath. Let's make the reminder as clear as possible. Imagine that in that moment there was some CCTV camera, some security camera that captured the footage. And now, as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, you can watch the video of that moment play out again. How clearly can you build the picture of you in that situation? And notice what comes up in you. Is there a part of you that wants to judge that moment? Wants to make either you right or wrong, or the other person or other people good or bad? And just notice that inner judgment, if it's there. Take your next big breath. I want you to try and understand your own mind just before you had that reaction. See if you can remember your thoughts, your inner conversation. What were you saying to yourself in the moments before you had your reaction? What was going through your mind? If we could stop you in that moment just before you reacted, and if we could ask you, sorry, just a moment, what is it you're afraid is going to happen? What would your answer be? What would the reaction have been about? What was the thing you were trying to prevent? Take your next big breath and just remind yourself to see the whole situation play out. Take a deep breath in. If you look back at your reaction, could you form a picture of what your facial expression would be, what your body language would be? What would have been the words you used? What would your actions have looked like? Form as clear a picture as you can. Take your next big breath. Now let's look in the other direction. We were looking backwards at what happened, and now we can look forward at what we would like to happen. Just imagine for a moment that you were able to relive a similar experience again. You were given a do-over. Try it again, and this time plan. Plan how you would like to act. And by observing both these sides, we are creating the neural pathways that facilitate the ability to, in the moment, remember there might be a different way for me to respond. So as we look into a theoretical future, if the same situation were to play out again, what is the conversation you would like to have with you before you react? What would you like to let you know? What would you want to remind you of before you react? Have that conversation now. Take your next big breath. And then if you were given the opportunity to do this over, what would you want to say? What would you want the words coming out of your mouth to be? What would you want your facial expression to look like? What would you want your body language to be? Create a clear intention right now, and perhaps the very next time this happens, we're very human as well, are we not? Perhaps you might not remember in the moment the next time this happens. But the more clearly you can plan what you want your next response to be, the more you will get better at, in the moment, catching yourself and reminding yourself that there are other options available. There are other responses that you can try. So right now, create that new response. Create it with as much clarity as you can. What would you want your words to be? What would you want your facial expression to be? What would you want your body language to look like? Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel the softness as it slips into your body. Allow the softness to settle in every part of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time today's quotes by Guru Krishnamurti. He says, freedom from the desire for an answer. In other words, freedom from this certainty that a part of us desperately wants to have. Freedom from certainty is essential to the understanding of the problem. He says, the highest form of human intelligence is to observe yourself without judging yourself. And then the last thought by Krishnamurti for today is, the ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence. Are you able to look at you without making you either good or bad? Can you see that both sides exist? Can you look at the humans around you and step away from the need to make these humans either right or wrong, good or bad? Can you see that in each of these humans, both sides exist? Now, of course, we can't always just be saying, this is not good, this is not bad. No person is all good or all bad. Of course, we can't just always hold that balance without any action. Sometimes action is required. Sometimes something needs to be said, or sometimes we need to step away. But whenever action is required, which part of you would you want to give that responsibility to? Do you want to give the responsibility of acting to a reactive ego? Part of you that is ready to act in fear or in anger? Or would you put your wisdom in the driver's seat? The part of you that can hold both sides. and after seeing both sides knows what is really to your benefit, what is really for the greater good. Often, when we become good at observing without evaluating, often we do see how many times the best thing to do is to let go, step away. Don't try and control. But whenever action is required, let us act from wisdom. Let us act from the part of us that knows what is in the greater good for all involved. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning and becoming better at stopping, breathing, and taking a step back before acting. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to hold both sides of me simultaneously. See the imperfections in the mirror clearly, not try and avoid them. But also see the beauty in something as simple as a smile. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to hold all parts of me simultaneously. The scared human that often is reactive, or at least wants to be reactive. Feeling justified in saying that thing. And also hold the part of me that prefers to stop and consider. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to see both sides and the humans around me. Recognizing that for the most part, humans react from their wounds, from their woundedness. Something feels driven to survive or find a way to cope. And that same human has wisdom too. It was just not given the opportunity to shine in this moment. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being along on this journey. Somebody, thank you so much. It's awesome seeing you as always. JJ, thank you for visiting. It's good to see you. Wishing you a really beautiful day. Hey Maggie, good morning. Awesome seeing you. Have a beautiful day. See you again soon. Remember to extend yourself to holding both sides. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.